Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
The lieutenant leans in to listen.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County neonatal care. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2.
According to Klasia, Lele said his real name wasn't really his. Perhaps that's because he was fostered.
This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought...
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A name. This is very good. Ellis Kortenaer.
This means something to him. To know that name. Like naming a case. It's important. Sometimes police work is about human dignity. About giving back names to another.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? Just a second. Sylvie Malaika on the line.
Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? You mean what?
Why not?
Maybe, I don't know.
You hear?
Anything else I can help? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of...
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! Right to work!
Don't think so.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea. Silence. He takes the photo. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. You see dead flesh in colorful rivers of polychrome.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in. Yeah,
He's clenching his teeth. There is silent pressure behind them.
What it means. I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what? Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Benital, 41. Monsoon season. He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kipped villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
Our boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon. At dawn, he comes upon two kids, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nigh. She was quite the entertainment. For the week she lasted, expired in the hands of Sarge Mason. The kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God. Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her cold body and drowned in a creek a week later. Spirits my ass.
Something stirs in your stomach. The story must have stirred up some conflicting emotions. There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colorless. Odorless. It's...
Fucking mask is getting sweaty. I want to take my mask off. No. I was in the domain. In Jamrock. Being a bouncer. Go ahead.
All right now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing!
On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, littering his dead skin.
Free flow of commerce!
Fucking bug.
You hear a tiny rattle, a small radio, cracking somewhere. I'm going to interpret that as a yes.
How about you fuck off now, huh?
Okay, of course.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now. Somewhere above. The man's breathing steadies, but his up. There's some tear, an empty... Just dead and dying locusts. Poor thing. Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus. Up in the distance you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags. To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it? It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from. Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne?
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast. There, 1.2 kilometers over the wave-crossed It's Late. There is no light on the third floor of the Whirling in Rags. No shape moves behind it. Glazia must be out on the town. A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. Poor thing. The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Poor thing. You see, a slogan used to intertwine with the
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with... But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer? For you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the Union building? What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that...
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
That Evrart and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess Union members have children too.
And those members have a vote when electing the head of the local chapter.
Aye, if you say so. Probably better that way. I mean, who likes construction noise?
It's getting late, and it's raining. Time to call it a day. It's getting late, and it's raining. Time to call it a day. You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum. You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction.
It's you again. What is it? Why? Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of sh... Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude.
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its air.
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
No.
That's a lie.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run. That operation is a gang cop.
That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and...
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martin. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So 72%. There's a percent.
Definitely lie. The truth is not credible.
Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. Still, all the labs in the world don't put her on that roof. How'd she get there? Climb? How? People say there was a pinball.
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Weird? How? You're wearing the pinball maker's coat.
Was run by a fella called Nerflock something, who wore a yellow dust coat like the one you have on right now. Weird guy. Never liked him.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Thank you.
The lieutenant is glad he got the floor plan right there.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Shush now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it? I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. That's wall mystery down there. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it? Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
He makes a gruff gesture for you to continue.
Footprints. Recent.
The tracks were recent, but not worn down in the right foot like Ruby's. It's best to omit this pesky little polemic for now. Too confusing.
That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints. Good news is, I'm still listening. Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys, but a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself.
That looks antique. A Belle McGrave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay. I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there?
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder...
You don't know. Screw honest. You just showed him a breech-loading gun.
Right. That's mighty forthcoming of you. So, let me extend you the same courtesy. She's connected.
Organized crime. Down in Jamrock, probably. He's not being too forthcoming.
So she may have access to semi-automatics, but that's a long fucking stretch of the imagination. God damn. That's just about your...
You were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it.
Okay, cop. She's got connections. I could see how she could have X.
That's all you needed. Doubt.
You lost your gun?
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder? Of course not. And Ruby didn't use your luck.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get...
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
I don't know, cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. What?
Phase 3. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration. He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's just...
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good. Silence. The old man in the corner. Not a very small nod.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why? She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. I told you. You. No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
Sure. Normal. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure. She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
And then when they're all empty, just move on, onto the next can. Don't look.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it. Whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
You are insistent.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This caught Titus, this caught Pete. But she was too scared. She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn. A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. Town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man. The what now?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something.
It feels like you'll get to know soon enough.
It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM sergeant material.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men. It's getting late, and it's...
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum. With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. Indeed, they look distinctly different and very convincing. These might as well be their actuals, but they're not. And the document will be nullified if they dispute it. That means all you need to do now is mail the signatures to Everart's accountant in La Delta. There was a mail delivery box in the plaza, near the corner of the bookstore.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer. Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them. Uh-oh were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Then, doesn't life get hard because we go on?
I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time you were yelling along to it. That it doesn't matter anymore, and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Don't be. I was going out later anyway. It didn't bother me. Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their... A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it. No problem, sir.
As you approach the metal grill, you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez. Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure. No, that's just slightly burnt coffee. A smell you would recognize anywhere.
Just look at this pig, sniffing about after hours. Go ahead and arrest me, officer. I swear I'll go peacefully.
The metal grill is cool to the touch. You can make out at least two voices, both.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voice is coming from the other side.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice? Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out. No, they're still there. You can feel them.
All right. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Have fun at your underground meeting, pig. Hope it's a blast.
The two young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor. Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are stacked.
Careful, careful. Damn, hardly any difference. You're late.
You should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
Don't let them see you flustered, sire. Play along. He's taken your measure, like an ideological boxer stepping into the ring. This must be the theory combat the Boyadero warned you about. On guard.
We all have to take precautions, especially during these delicate times. What matters is that you've made it, and that you've done the reading.
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to win this one.
You have? Excellent. Let's hear your critique then. always say that when they haven't done the reading. Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
Maybe he can explain himself.
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely seriously. Whatever you do, don't compare it to a common book club.
That's our whole thing. The world is so shallow, all noise and repetition. We're interested in genuinely radical critique.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
Huh. As though you can call that problem teaching.
One thing you learn quickly at university is that you're not going to find a real education in any lecture hall or discussion seminar.
We are post-attendance, basically.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the so-called École Normale de Revachol is the library. That's where we've made our greatest critical strides. Go ahead. Lynching? No. We're not an operational cell.
We think of ourselves as more of an intellectual vanguard.
Our stance? What? Does he want to know if the SRV has established a party line on the lynchings in Martinez?
Though historically speaking, the SRV has supported direct action against right-wing paramilitary squads. Especially when they are doing the Indo-Tribe's dirty work.
Good point. So as a provisional matter, I can say we support it.
Are they being sarcastic? You feel like you're caught in some elaborate joke labyrinth. But it's always that way. Beneath the crust of irony, there's a molten sincerity that threatens to erupt forth. You may witness it yet.
No, we're an independent organization. We acknowledge and respect the Union's efforts, but our interests are more theoretical than Mr. Clare's.
He speaks the truth.
That's easy. Crime is simply the inevitable expression of the injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism itself. It's a symptom, in other words, not a cause.
His companion can barely suppress a yawn.
No, unfortunately. The communards were hunted down and killed nearly to a man. All that's left of them are bones and old rifles.
His companion's eyes.
Yes, like that one. I wonder how many of these are still lying around in cellars or sealed up. Can I hold it? It's heavier than I was expecting.
Though what, exactly, you can't say. He turns the rifle over again, admiring that when he's finished, he returns the rifle to you with a nod of appreciation. The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently for two guys who are just messing around. It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could, with predictable results.
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process with essays and presentations, but given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application.
Stefan, you can't be serious. For gendarme?
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are. Besides, assuming he's even still interested, that is. Sure, we're here most every night. Maybe we'll catch you again.
Sleep well, gendarme.
The gendarme returns. What do you need? Ah, yeah, it's hers. She just sort of moved it all in a few months ago.
She said if she's going to make truly radical art, she needs a suit.
And I don't think she could afford rent at an actual studio. Oh, sure. He's definitely interesting, I would say.
His companion's eyes widen with interest. If this is what the Union man meant by theory combat, you've just...
Come on. It's not that I don't have anything to say about Cindy's art. It's more that I'm still working out the details.
You flustered the poor boy.
I guess you could call her latest stuff a sort of counter-bourgeoisie calligraphy. She's got a real taste for radical slogans.
It's too bad she hasn't developed the theoretical...
I think she'll get there, though. She's still looking for a subject equal to her ambitions. The deal, at a fundamental level, I guess you could call it the shattered bones of a dream crushed by capital.
A feeble and hopelessly mixed metaphor.
That's really good, Steban.
Thanks, Uli. When the idea is sound, the words just sort of flow.
Yes. Now keep developing the idea.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not as good as Steban's original idea, though.
Go ahead. What do you mean? This is the reading group. We're in something of a rebuilding.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory.
Imagine the audacity of wanting to read a novel in a reading group.
See? Even the gendarme gets it.
We've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Right. Then there was...
Whatever this turnip business is about, one thing is you could learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them you're one of them.
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets.
It's okay for Uli to say that, because his dad is from Gottwald. The Gottwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are incapable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself.
In other words, they have lost faith in their own relevance.
That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide. It is miserable. That's probably why they're always committing suicide. You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books. For starters, they love talking about beans. That's right. Iconoclasts are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Ah yes, the much maligned bean counters, ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
See? You're already falling for that scarcity logic. You start off assuming there aren't enough beans to go around. And next thing you know, there are budget cuts, so now we've got to cut the bean rations in half. You see, iconoclasts claim to be communists, but in reality they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets. Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
Basically indistinguishable from fascists. You'd need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
Cindy is...
something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
That doesn't stop her from using the room for studio space, of course. It's an unfortunate story. You see, our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
Right. So a few weeks ago we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said... What were his exact words, Ulex's?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Just a minute. Steban, Ulixis. Why do those names ring the faintest of bells? Probably because they're the real names of Nazteb and Exilus, the authors of that so-called essay about Tip-Top Tournay you read in La Fumée. You should get to the bottom of this when you have the chance.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering about? You've never heard of anything like it.
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to do.
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some...
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group? Nielsen. Ignace Nielsen. You're not familiar with him? It's pretty advanced stuff. You may not be ready for it yet. Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
It's hard to overstate how unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world history.
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nielsen who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
You've read our article.
That I did not expect.
Well, don't keep us on tenterhooks.
The delicate egos on these boys. Even though you're just some cop, they're desperate for your approval.
Well, of course that's just an initial foray into the subject. We're hoping to return to it for a more substantial treatment next term. In any case, I'm glad our piece found its audience. That's always the hope with these things, you know. The gendarme returns. What do you need? The gendarme returns. What do you need?
Is it getting warm in here? There seems to be a little pool of sweat forming in the depression of your lower back. No, you're terrible at them. The thought of everyone looking at you, judging you, makes you want to heave. Let's be frank. They're probably way smart. Of course, if you're nervous, it wouldn't hurt. The hardest part will just be working up the nerve to ask without soiling yourself.
Everything all right, gendarme? You look a little green about the gills.
Hello again, officers.
It's getting late, and the bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you. It digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Help.
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people.
Hear that? You are naive to think he's afraid of his bloodied hands. It's much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too... We're trying to help you. All these processes, these
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
of hell. An ancient sadness, brother.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face. You're still not accustomed to it.
Yes?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. This is my little cinder block town.
She's being evasive.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. Aye, that you are, Dark Omen. Help yourselves and your organization. Help the storm clouds gather on the horizon. There's not much to tell. People come and go.
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too. As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear the edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, Something hard wrapped in a small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer? Oh? Who? Okay. When did this person stay here? Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so... Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant. And not a stupid one either. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
That's for the police to find out. Right there. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs. Around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up. Just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you're coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No.
The truth, sire.
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't...
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows...
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cross a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do, but she was brooding.
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
Aye. Do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter, like you sometimes get, son. She really believes that.
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape millions she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that. I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing.
It's a peninsula. She might be.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater.
The failed electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What more do you want to know about that? Yes, let's hear first one thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
That ride is fucking light.
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed...
Did he feel like he has to prove he can still pull his weight? Doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home. 'Cause when the dock workers found him, he was... Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it. No, René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you are...
He has doubts, but right now, he just wants to move on, and not...
I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even his whole army, but the only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids, and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a Count, and he died a Count. Let's leave it at that. Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo. Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone.
Despite their differences, these men played such a significant part in each other's lives that now that one of them is gone, the other feels just lost.
I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something. Yes? What about...
Yes.
It is what it is.
Despite their differences.
I just don't know anymore. About...
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads...
I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though. Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay?
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
Yes, for sending mail.
You drop the white envelope in the dark. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug.
All right, let's go back to Evrard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Fuck does Kuno care? Here, pig. We've fallen now. Performance buddies. Kuno can already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Kuno's debt now. Money debt.
Money debt doesn't mean anything. He's just saying words. You're not in his...
Kuno doesn't...
Hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting, just like we...
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such now. What can Everard Clare do for you today? The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing.
See? Forging that. Well done, sire. But you don't know his full plan. Perhaps he expected trickery. Perhaps the signatures weren't important. The point is, Do not think you're ahead of him.
Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that. Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of...
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Tits from her arsehole. It's a local...
Actually, no, it's not.
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't... It's already happening. No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare. Couldn't have done it without him.
He really doesn't know. A guy, huh?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know.
He really doesn't.
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us.
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez, and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical all they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his benefit, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off respect.
And the kids on the street can get speed and purely done.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez. Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an army of rubies.
Understood.
You know why you're such a good detective, Harry? You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or... Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. I'm gonna unite them all into one economic body. We're gonna incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's gonna be in on the wealth, and everyone's gonna pull their weight. Thank you, Harry, thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me, because in many ways, you are that working man. You have already done so much work. We're way past specific union members now. This is the big you can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters, but...
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done. An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character. So
this must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that?
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardeurs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like...
It sounds like a very disturbed...
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly...
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said. Not...
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
It actually sounds extremely bad. But let's not give him the satisfaction.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 20...
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Harry! By now, you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise... Well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally...
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate this.
So the village is doomed.
You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland, there's nothing left. But mark my words, officers, we are going to reset it. Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. I accept your salute, Harry. All of it is true. I've got the center.
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain.
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, workers on welfare, and landowners in Azon hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together. Oh, I do, Harry. I really do. I'm great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish. Due to the lack of magnesium, you need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. Yes, if you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier.
Hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting, just like we talked about. Mr. Evrat doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about? Mr. Edgar is Mr. Evrat's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does. But a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even... Huh? Sure, mister. He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do.
Oil for the wheels. Much needed in stressful times.
Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Actually, once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another. Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice friendly sort, old Titus is. I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everett would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister. The night guard, he was a peculiar fellow. Headstrong and proud. We didn't really talk all that much. He died recently. Something with his ticker. Sure, mister. What can Leo do?
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has... before the cargo container. And as it's always... You're back before the cargo container. And as it... You're back before the cargo container. And... You're back before the cargo container. Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails the doors...
Satisfied, detective?
Try again. Just like that, you hear a click. Then...
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter. In trying to visualize the physics at play is liable in the general stillness.
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is...
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen? Who am I? Oh, I have... Anyhow, my name is Rustam Theodore, investor, license holder, and...
Mr. Theodore, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my...
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well.
Oh Lord, not this again. Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure. And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solve.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune from my... All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats.
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work, but then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really. And they benefit when I buy things to stimulate the economy. Do you know how many jobs it takes to build and maintain a racing yacht? Dozens, at least. Of course, in the future, it will all be automated. But my point is that every man gets what he earns. It's the height of tyranny to take that from him. Capital makes one speechless, does it not?
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you...
Why go so...